Light, fast, surprisingly elite. The ANTA C202 G9 is one of the biggest surprises I've ever run in. A lightweight carbon-plated racer that genuinely feels top tier. Here are my initial impressions of this Nimble race day weapon that's already earned a top spot in my top racing shoes. Let's get started. Very light and nimble. At just 181 grams for a US 10.5, the ANTA C202 G9 is insanely light. Easily one of the lightest carbon-plated race day shoes, not just in the Chinese brand market, but across the board. Now usually, when a shoe gets this light, you expect compromises. Less structure, less durability, or a cheap feel. But that's honestly not the case here. My first impression was that the C202 G9 still feels solid and well built, especially for something this light. One of the standout features is the ultra-thin 0.5mm outsole. This is clearly where ANTA saved a lot of weight, and at first glance, you'd probably think durability would be a concern. But after lugging more than 30 kilometers in this shoe, I'm actually quite surprised. There's no visible wear, no peeling, no premature damage. So based on real-world use, I can confidently say this is one of the most durable thin outsoles I've ever tested. At least so far, especially for a race day shoe. Lightweight, efficient, and so far impressively tough. That's a combination you don't see very often. NITROEDGE PRO Midsole. The midsole is really where the magic happens on the ANTA C202 G9. You're getting a dual-layer nitrogen-injected midsole that ANTA calls NITROEDGE Pro, and for me, it hits that sweet spot perfectly. It's not overly soft, not too firm, just the right balance of responsiveness and bounce, especially when you start picking up the pace. This shoe genuinely feels built for speed. You can actually see how the midsole compresses and rebounds under load. And that compression helps create a smooth, efficient rollover when you're running fast. There's no dead feeling here. Every stride feels purposeful and energetic. Pair that with the well-tuned rocker geometry and the smart positioning of the carbon plate, and everything just works well seamlessly. You get a noticeable pop of the toe, quick transitions, and a really smooth stride from landing to toe off. It's the kind of setup that encourages you to push harder and run faster without even thinking about it. I just love it. Amazing upper. One of the standout features of the ANTA C202 G9 is its upper, and honestly, it's one of the best sock-like constructions I've ever tried on a racing shoe. ANTA uses a dual-tech material they call A-Web and cyan fiber, and the result is an upper that's incredibly lightweight, breathable, and elastic, yet still surprisingly resilient. Because it's a one-piece construction, the fit feels very clean and race-ready. There are no pressure points, no unnecessary overlays, and you can tell this design was clearly done to save weight, while still keeping your foot securely locked in. Once you lace up, the shoe just disappears on foot, which is exactly what you want on race day. In terms of fit, for my normal size feet, I'd say it runs slightly narrow through the midfoot, but opens up nicely in the forefoot. The wider toe area gives your toes enough room to splay naturally when you're pushing the pace, without feeling sloppy or unstable. Overall, it's a snug, performance-focused fit that really complements the fast, aggressive nature of the C202 G9. In terms of similar rides, I would say it rides similar to the Nike Vaporfly 4 and the Kyodan Feiying PB 5.0, both aimed for performance and pushing the paces. I think this will fit perfectly for your 10K to the half marathon races. But if you want something light, fast, and nimble for the full marathon, then the ANTA C202 G9 might work for you. Looking to log in more miles to this surprisingly good sub 6,000 pesos carbon-plated racer from ANTA? Please like and subscribe for more running shoe reviews. See you on the next run.